to take a look at some of the stories that have caught our attention in the morning papers. Our editor-at-large, Jeremy Maggs, joining us now. He's had a look at some of the papers. Jeremy, morning.
Yeah, you know, I'm one of those people. I actually still read the newspapers. The actual tactility of the newspaper. I want to read the newspaper if I can in the morning. It's not, my world is not entirely dominated by online. So the Sowetan today has a very interesting story. There's a mobile app to anonymously report sexual harassment on Wits University campuses. It's been created by 2 students, and I think this is a really good idea. Essentially, the app allows the victim to report the incident and describe the name of the offender. That then, Uveka, allows the university to act on that with, I imagine, a degree of anonymity. Now, we know that there's been a problem not only on this particular campus, but in campuses around the country, and it's really nice to see 2 young tech students who've taken a problem and they've actually come up with a viable solution.
The Kwezi app is what they call it.
It's called the Kwezi app, and I think that is, I think that's, you know, kudos to the 2 of them. I think that really works well. Daily Sun, as we continue to wage through our... Oh, there's one other thing I want to mention as well. Ooh. So I'm just finding my way. I haven't done a newspaper review for a long time.
Make dog's ears like we
I'm going to do dog's ears. But one of the other things that I love doing, and I know that we are creatures of social media, that our world is often defined by what we see on Twitter and Facebook, but letters in newspapers are really important. I love letters and I love obituaries in newspapers. But that's
do you like going to funerals, Jeremy?
I do like going to funerals. And there's a very interesting letter from a writer in Isipingo Hills in KZN, essentially saying, and this follows on from what happened in White City in Soweto about the fake food riots, and essentially saying that food fraud in this country is on the rise. It needs urgent attention at all levels. He goes on to say that food categories that are particularly vulnerable to food fraud, fish, seafood, liquid, spices, fruits, vegetables, and meat products. And I think that's something that we as a channel, maybe, Uveka, need to take a little closer look at.
Because
it's widespread and it is a huge problem. So let me look at the Daily Sun now as I turn to page 4 for you. And this is, again, a story that I don't think we have given enough attention to in the media generally. We know there's a problem in the Vaal area around polluted water. The Human Rights Commission, the Daily Sun reporting today, witnessing firsthand how untreated sewage is being pumped into one of the biggest rivers. We've all been warning about the pending sewage crisis in the Vaal. We've seen some very dramatic pictures in that respect, but I'm delighted to see that the Human Rights Commission is getting to grips with this, and Uveka is calling now for a formal investigation to this, because this is going to have a huge impact on...
Especially when, coming up to December, we have families flocking to the Vaal still, and you need...
You're absolutely right, and it is a real crisis.
Those living there,
let me go to the Citizen very quickly, and we turn to page 5, if I can just find it. And it's about Solium Simanga.
I think you're missing.
I'm missing page 5. No, there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you for all that help. So we know that his position is fairly tenuous at the moment as mayor of Tshwane, but he's a politician. So what is he going to do? He's going to get out among his constituents.
Because that was the thing, is that they wondered, where was he? What's he been doing?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what he's been doing. He took, and the politicians love doing this. When in doubt, when you're a politician, what do? You get on a train. Okay?
With ordinary people.
With ordinary people. Not entirely sure if it's the best thing to do in Cape Town right now, given the crisis that the city's facing with Metro Rail in that respect. But essentially saying that he took a Metro Rail trip from Pretoria yesterday to Salisbury, and it's all part of a listening tour.
A listening? And what is he listening to? Is he talking to?
He's listening to people, and he wants to engage with Gauteng residents on the issues they face daily. And there's a nice picture of him. I'm being a little disingenuous, a little bit cynical, but Uveka, what is happening next year?
Yes, what is happening next year?
An election next year. So I think we're going to see a lot of listening tours from all political parties over the next couple of years.
Did he take some parcels? We don't know.
I don't know if he took any parcels. I didn't get that far with the story. 140 characters, then we're done.
Okay.
Shouldn't have said that. Here's another disturbing story. The headline in the Citizen, page 8 today, sour news for the milk industry.
Don't tell me it's going up.
No, the Milk Producers Organisation is concerned about the negative effect that the sharp drop in producer prices since March is going to have on the sustainability of milk production. It's again something that I think this is a story that has got to, that it's going to run. Retail prices of milk, cheese and eggs have remained more or less constant, but there's a warning now that because of the producer price drop, that is going to have a huge impact on the price of milk going forward. We all know that it's a sustainable commodity which we need. And then I just want to I know I'm stealing all your time. I know that. Look at the Star, and maybe we can get our just to take a quick look at that, because if I'm not mistaken, help me, Iveka, that's a new masthead.
Yes, I know, that looks different. I was wondering what I was
looking at. For years. I mean,
yes.
it used to be there, and now they've changed it,
yes, I see
which is a good thing. And just one story that I want to pick up on page 1 of the Star today. Mark Barnes, he is the chief executive of the Post Office, coming face to face with the social grants payment chaos, and you can see the pictures there. And again, he was also, I guess he was on a listening tour as well yesterday at the Jabulani Mall in Soweto, and the paper saying that he is, quoting him saying, frantically making calls to SASSA as queues grew by the hour, waiting pensioners becoming increasingly agitated.
I hope for his sake that in a month's time they get it sorted out, like he said.
And there's just one other little snippet. Give me 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
And then I'm going to go. The listeriosis crisis. Yes. Called over, but remember there is still legal action pending in that respect. But what I've also done today is I've had a look at all the retail advertising in the newspapers. It's not.
Oh, okay. So they're not convinced, I wonder.
So I'm not entirely sure whether there's a lag time there,
too late,
or whether
maybe
they're not entirely convinced. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see when those ads start again.
And to see when the stock is back on the shelves, I suppose. Thanks very much for that. Thanks for having a look at this. Please, can you?
Okay.
Yes, because Devin Murugan's waiting. He'd like a spot, but you warmed it up for him.
Indeed, I have. Okay.
Thanks very much.
See you tomorrow.
Lovely.